girl, Stephanie J. Sanders, and I am a relentless go-getter who wants to change the world one person at a time by providing education and resources to educators who want to be financially secure while doing what they love. You see, at age 24, my whole world was taken from me by someone else's perception. I couldn't afford heat, so I took cold showers. I couldn't afford a bed, so I slept on the floor. I worked every day of my good job, but my struggle was real. I worked 10 plus hours daily, putting all my time into my students, creating routines for shows, practicing for football games twice a week, driving 50 miles a day, until one day my past cost me everything. And that's when I realized that the value I added to that good job meant nothing to them, but everything to me. So I'm here to show you how to leverage your skills so you will never have to worry about outside forces taking what you worked so hard for. You are in control of your legacy, so be the person you never had with the knowledge that will change your life.
All right. Hello, guys. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comments where you are tuning in from, rather. My name is Stephanie J. Sanders, and I am the visionary for To Teach or Not to Teach Beyond the Classroom. So a little bit about this vision that I had for this book that these amazing authors are bringing to life. I wanted to first empower teachers with a toolbox of professional options, right? We want to know what's next. We are so much more than just the four walls of the classroom. We are so much more than just teachers, regardless of what other people think. We do so much. So I wanted to arm you with options. Next, I wanted to highlight our values. We always, you always hear that we wear a lot of hats, which we do, but those hats can actually turn into revenue. So I want to highlight those things that are amazing inside of each of our educators. And lastly, I wanted to provide advice that helps you explore the professions within education and outside of education, I should say, right? You could be an amazing event planner. You could be an amazing principal, right? Inside and outside. So enough of the vision. Tonight, you are going to hear from a phenomenal young lady that does a whole lot. I am so grateful to have her on this project. And if you are watching us live, make sure you hit a 1 for me. Make sure you are watching us live. You hit a 1 and hit a 2 if you are hitting that replay. But this young lady comes all the way from Barbados by way of, she is in Jersey now. I would like to introduce you guys to Miss Shannel Williams.
Yeah. Hello, guys. And how are you doing tonight?
Hello. Make sure you are supporting Shannel down in the comments, whether you are in Facebook, you're on YouTube, wherever you are, make sure you hit a 1 and make sure you shout Shannel out. So, Shannel, would you like to tell us about yourself, what grade you've taught, and all of that good things?
Okay, so I am originally from Barbados, like Stephanie said. I started to teach back in 2012. I was inspired by one of my teachers to move from my first job out of college and to go into teaching. He actually saw me there, and he knew of my potential, and he said to me, no. This is not the place for you. We have to get you out of there. And so he exchanged his number with me. And at the end of the evening, he called me. He said, so what do you want to do with your life? I don't think you want to stay at this establishment. And after the conversation, because my first degree was in sociology and psychology, he asked me, so have you ever thought about teaching? I said, well, I was thinking about a couple of things, having grown up in the church. I know my family was, and based on my participation, they expected me to go the track of even becoming a pastor or a priest. I even thought about becoming a psychologist. But after that conversation, I said, well, let me give teaching a try. So between him and another one of my teachers, were instrumental in supporting me in that process. And I went on vacation. I did an introduction to education course And by September, I was teaching at the first school I taught at, which is St. George Secondary School. And I was there for a year, and then I moved on to the Frederick Smith Secondary School. No, before I went to Frederick Smith Secondary School, I taught at Dighton Griff Secondary School for just a semester, and then I went on to Frederick Smith Secondary School. So just want to shout out all the teachers, all my past students, and everyone. It was a great experience. It really helped to mold me to the teacher that I am today. And then I migrated to the US. And the first year I was a sub, and then I did my certification through the NYC Fellows Program. And so I graduated last year with a master's in special education. And I first worked at PS 211 in Canarsie, and then I worked at the Cultural Academy for Arts and Sciences in, I believe that's the Flatbush area, where I had two great administrators. If you are a teacher and you want to start teaching, I believe that is the school that you should really start your career at. And then after I moved to Jersey, I moved to another high school in Manhattan.
Nice. So from sea to shining sea. That is awesome. That is awesome. So what are your thoughts on why teachers should go beyond the classroom?
I think that as a teacher, we are exposed to multiple modes of training. We are given opportunities to learn a lot of skills. And so not only for ourselves, but for our families, we should really see the ways that we can leverage our skills, not only outside of the classroom, but inside the classroom as well. Because thinking back on my journey, and I had a conversation with one of my friends the other day who she has transitioned out. So she was a teacher, so no, I know she's a lawyer. And in discussion, she said to me, in teaching, we do a lot of things and we do them for free. We plan proms, we plan pageants, we do coaching, we plan our empowerment programs or whatever. And the most we would get within our job is per diem or per session. And so we are there as teachers, we're doing we're doing it for the love of teaching. But then on the other side of that, we are struggling sometimes financially to live that life that we're supposed to live. So I feel as though we should try to leverage those skills outside the classroom to make sure that we give our families the life that they deserve. Because if we don't do it, then who will? And a lot of times we have skills that are taken for granted, and skills that if we would just venture out, the possibilities are endless, right? So I feel as though we should just do our best, show the world our God-given talents, and do everything not only for our children but for ourselves.
I like what you said. Give your family the life they deserve. That is an amazing quote that I'm going to take from you. So thank you for that. So with all these things that you're doing, getting your master's, you're in education, you're in special education, you do things outside of education. What made you want to do this project, and how has it been so far?
So as I started out saying, my journey has been along. This is over a decade I've been teaching. And so the master's I just completed is not my first master's. It's actually technically my third. Because before I migrated to the US, I would have already finished my teacher training. And I also did a master's in international education through the University of Leicester in London. So for me, it has been a very, very, very long journey. And so over the years, I've been with schools that I think found the value in me. I was able to collaborate with some wonderful teachers to do many amazing projects within the schools I've worked at. And I found myself in a position where I felt I had some downtime. That would be the best way to put it. I had some downtime. I felt very much because I changed schools and I changed administrators. And so I felt very much new environment. I felt very undervalued and underutilized. So I had a lot of time. And so I happenstance on this opportunity. And as the saying goes, when life gives you lemons, then you make lemonade. So I said, you know what? I'm here. I'm not really being utilized like I'm accustomed to. Why not do something that is beneficial to me? And so that is where the journey began.
Nice. Well, I am so grateful to have you here. Your wealth of knowledge is just amazing. Just the countries you've taught in and the experience that you have. You bring so much to the table as it pertains to this book. So I'm just going to say, if you guys need to read this book, especially this young lady's chapter, all right, especially if you are not, because I never thought about the concept of a teacher that wasn't from the US, right? So you brought that idea to me actually, because I never thought about it. I know there's teachers other places, of course, but I never thought they will be in the book. You know what I mean? So
Right, right.
that is just awesome. That is just so awesome. So what are your future endeavors as of right now? Are you trying to get another master's, PhD? What's going on right now?
So currently I am trying to really decide what I'm going to do next. Um, during my years of teaching, I was also trained as a cosmetology teacher. So I'm a trained cosmetologist, and my I would say my mentor, but he is really my former co-teacher, is always drilling this in my head. You have a talent that you you are just letting sit by the side, because I have been involved in so many other things. So I have officially relaunched my braiding and natural hair care business. um I have another book inspired by my dad that I want to bring out and launch for his birthday, which is July the 31st. I also launched my educational consultancy business, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. But I feel like
I
I'm
get that.
forgetting.
She said, I got this. I got this. There's one more thing. I love it. I love it.
But anyway, what I say is that they look for many things to come from me, because I will no longer be. I'm reminded of the parable of the talents, and God gave talents, and people decided to hide and whatever, and then if you don't use your talents, they feel as though if you don't use your talents, they disappear. So therefore, I will no longer be sitting on my talents. I will no longer be letting fear guide my path, but I will be leveraging my skills outside of the classroom as of now and as of today.
Everybody heard that. As of now, as of today, okay? And she has something else coming as well. So make sure that you purchase her book. Her information is down below. It's also up top. Pre-sales are going on right now. So if you have not purchased a copy, please get your copy and read this young lady's chapter. Now, where can the people find you? Where can they get in contact with you?
Okay, so if you look on the screen, you see my link tree page, and my link tree page has all of my information. But you can also find me on Facebook, name Shannel Williams. You can find me on Instagram. It is SW673. You can find me on LinkedIn, Shannel Williams, and TikTok. You can also find me on TikTok as well. But the link tree has all the links with all that information. So you just have to go on my link tree page, and all of my social media, all of my upcoming projects will be linked to that page.
Awesome. And she be dancing, y'all. So really follow her on TikTok. She be TikToking, like for real. Like she be TikToking. I'll be watching her. I'll be loving the tunes. I love the tunes. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before we go? Any last words?
I would just like to hope that this book is an inspiration not only for teachers but for anybody that is looking to leverage their skills. And for me, I would like to say there's a saying that if they don't create a seat at the table for you, then bring a folding chair. And a lot of times we live our lives, or we carry about our careers in fear of the unknown, in fear of if the market is saturated and so on. And I would hope that this experience, not only my experience, but the experience of all the teachers, would give people the insight to go there and venture out on their own and to create the spaces and the lives that they want for themselves and for their families.
That's awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another amazing Meet My Authors interview. We do have one more coming up, so make sure you're tuning in. If you are watching us live, hit a 1 wherever you are. If you're hitting that replay, hit a 2. Make sure you reach out to Miss Shannel Williams. You get her book, which is down below, and you stay in contact with her because she is a wealth of wisdom and a wealth of talent. So make sure you get with her. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we shall be back with one more interview with an author later on this week. Have a good night, guys.
Yes, goodbye. Have a good night. Love you.